Before the opening bell, U.S. indices closing mixed on Tuesday after President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed a peace regime agreement in Singapore. Shares in energy, insurance, and automobiles and components, those sectors losing momentum, while shares in utilities, media, and software and services sectors, they traded higher. On the economic docket, CPI year over year increasing by 2.8% in May, meeting estimates, and the monthly budget deficit increasing to $146.8 billion in May. Advancers ahead of decliners, 62% of SP500 constituents trading higher yesterday. Now, after the markets closed, H&R Block announcing fourth quarter adjusted EPS of $5.47 on revenue of $2.39 billion. AT&T announcing the win of an antitrust ruling which will allow the company to take over Time Warner in an $85 billion deal in order to become an entertainment giant. The U.S. District Judge, Richard Leon, stated that the government failed to make its case that the combination would lead to higher prices for pay TV subscribers. Meanwhile, Johnson & Johnson announcing the acceptance of a binding offer from Platinum Equity to acquire LifeScan for $2.1 billion. LifeScan, a world leader in blood glucose monitoring and maker of the One Touch brand of product. Meanwhile, turning overseas, Asian markets mostly down today. The Nikkei is up 0.38%, but the Hang Seng down 1.22%. China CSI 300 down nearly 1%, and South Korea's Kospi down 0.05%. European markets slightly positive, and U.S. futures calling for a positive start. Now, there is no major news expected today in terms of earnings, while on the economic docket, 8:30 in the morning, we have the final demand month-over-month for May PPI, and 2 o'clock this afternoon, we have the FOMC rate decision expected to rise. Now, the SP 500, that sees the bias remain bullish, and that's in focus this morning. Even though a continuation of the consolidation cannot be ruled out, the extent should be limited. Long positions above 2782 are favored, with targets at 2802 and 2810 in extension. Onto the Nasdaq, that sees the upside prevail, while the Dow Jones sees the bias remain bullish.